Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Johnny signing in again from Johannesburg, South Africa. I want to tell you about the power of LifeWays X39. It reactivates your own stem cells in your body, and you get up to 4,000 new genes in your body, which fights any disease and issues in your body. So it's a non-invasive patch. It looks like this, and you stick it on parts of your body. And when it's a part of your body, it reactivates your copper peptide in your brain, which reactivates your stem cells in your body. So it's not like big pharma's here. Stem cell injection that costs you over 25,000 US dollars, and you can only get it in certain countries, and your body can reject it. There's only a 50% uh, working rate of the injection. This medical patch, my own point of view, this activates your own stem cells in your body and creates new genes. I put out a testimonial every week of an issue or a disease of what people are struggling with out there in the world. We hold over 200 worldwide patent rights on this medical patch. Remember, it's my point of view, my own point of view. And you can only get it from one of the brand partners at LifeWays. We sell directly to the people that need it. We don't market it in big business where everybody has to put a markup up, and then it'll be out of the reach of the people that really need it. So that's what we do. So today I want to welcome you to the Lifeway family. And remember, it's the only technology of its kind in the world today. So my testimonial of the week would be right up here, week number, and then in red you'll get the testimonial of the week. Your first video will give you testimonials from people that are on this medical patch and what it's done for them and how it's helped them. And then the video thereafter would be a full presentation of how to wear this product and what you can get out of it, the benefits you can get out of it, and all that type of thing. And then on the last video, you'll find my contact details. So if you have a disease that you would like to see testimonials on that specific disease, or like high blood pressure or sugar diabetes, I will send you testimonials from all over the world with people that are on the medical, my own point of view, the patch, and then you can see for yourself what it's done for those people. So on the last video, you'll find QR codes from YouTube, from Rumble, and from BitChute. That is the long videos that will tell you all about it, and you can see the testimonials and how the presentation of how this works. And then if you're one of the people that struggle with data and that, you can follow me on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and X, and you'll find a QR code of my WhatsApp channel. And next to that, there's a QR code taking you direct to my email address. And on the other side of the page, you'll find Telegram. So if you want to use Telegram, you can scan that and go into my Telegram account. Guys, if you go into BitChute, we've got hundreds of followers, but no subscribers. Very few subscribers. Guys, please subscribe so that we can get to millions more people out there. And my Rumble account, it's exactly the same. We got viewers, but no subscribers. Please subscribe there. Or on my YouTube channel. I got a few subscribers, but I had hundreds more, thousands more. YouTube took it down and I lost all those subscribers. So please subscribe there again, and there's there you can drop me a cup of coffee or something to help me keep all this work up on all those channels. And please follow me on the smaller channels such as Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, and X. Follow me there, and so we can get to millions of more people that need this miracle patch. Oops, my own point of view. This patch, you just stick it on a part of your body. It's a non-invasive patch, so nothing's going into your bloodstream. So if you're on tablets, you can still wear this. This is just activating your body to work, not in your bloodstreams and going in all over like big pharma's Smarties, and they give you a tablet for this and a tablet is something else in your body. So this is a non-invasive patch. So guys, thank you for being here, and you'll see me again next week for the next one, and we'll take it from there. Remember, the testimonial of the week is up, yeah? It's in red, and the week number. So thank you for being here, and hope to see you on the last page, and we'll take it from there. Thank you, and enjoy the week and enjoy the weekend. See you next week.
Yeah, my good friend called to check on my daughter. My daughter had she was 11 last September, had a traumatic brain injury that resulted in a brain hemorrhage, and she was discharged from the hospital, and we were very blessed. It could have been a lot worse, and she went through hyperbaric oxygen. We did rehab, we did acupuncture. I've always been somewhat of a researchaholic, and so when traditional medicine kind of left us hanging, there wasn't a whole lot of things that they had to offer her. We kind of went out of the box, and she went back to school about part-time right before Christmas break and kind of did all the holiday parties, and then went back full-time in January. And her academics were struggling. And about that time, my husband and I said, oh my gosh, we have to do something else. And Dina called and said, hey, I've had just this miraculous response with my daughter, and she has a special needs daughter. And she said, if they can heal my daughter's brain, I think you should try them for your daughter's brain. And the researchaholic in me, started researching them. And that's probably my biggest regret, is I spent probably about 6 weeks digging into all of the clinical trials and reading the studies and listening to testimonial calls just like this one. And finally at the, I don't know, probably midpoint, my husband and I decided that it was something we had to at least give a try. So I had texted Dina, and I said, I think I asked her, I said, well, how much is this anyway? And she kind of said, well, let's talk. And I thought, oh boy, that's never a good sign. And was anticipating that it being a lot more expensive than what it was. And so when she told me the price, I thought, oh shoot, if you would have told me that, I would have just jumped on board probably probably a month before. I probably would have at least read some of the clinical trials. But anyway, I thought before I experiment on my 11-year-old, I would put him on myself. So I have I have scoliosis in my back, and so I have struggled with some low back pain. I'm not a medicine taker, despite being a pharmacist. I don't like to take any kind of medication. I feel like my job is always to tell people all the side effects and the reasons why maybe they should be careful. And so I tend not to take a lot of medication. And so I was sitting at my desk doing my chart reviews and whatnot from home, and having to sit with a TENS machine on because my back hurt so bad. And I wasn't getting relief from a chiropractor anymore. And, you know, the funny thing is Dina asked if I needed anything. And I said, oh no, I'm perfect. Actually, I don't have any problems. I don't have anything. And she's like, okay. And so I tried them for the first week, the X39 and the Aeon, and I put them on my low back. So the X39 on my spine and the Aeon kind of on my right loin, and kind of right where you put your hand on your hip. And about the third day of wearing the patches, I had just a dramatic improvement in my level of pain. I just thought, am I feeling something? Like, am I losing my mind, or am I actually feeling something working in these patches? And by the end of the first week, I couldn't find a sore spot. I was kind of putting them right on the point of pain, and I really couldn't find a sore spot. And so at the end of the week, I kind of thought, well, maybe I'm going to stay on these too. So I did, and I started Elena on them. And so it was kind of an accident that I started the patches, because I had no intention of spending $100 a month on myself. And so pretty much that's how I got started in them. And Dina told me a little bit about the business aspect of it. And I said, oh no, that is not for me. I will not be doing the business part of it. I have no desire to do that. And she said, well, you just wait. When you get your miracle, you won't be able to help yourself, and you'll have to share your story. And so here I am. I just started my basically 5th month of the patches, and I don't think I'll be going without them anytime soon. I've experimented on myself a little bit, and I can skip a day or two, even once in a while, 3 or 4. But boy, by that 5th day, I am reminded how bad I used to feel. So I don't like to skip days. I don't like to be inconsistent. It's one of the things I counsel people on is, hey, be consistent. Make sure that you're wearing them every single day as you're supposed to. Don't skip. You're not going to get the same results if you're not consistent. But some of my background is I live here in Arizona, and as a transplant Arizona person, I came from Michigan. I got valley fever really bad. I was one of the lucky or unlucky 1% that get a nodule. And so I had a valley fever nodule burst in my right lower lobe. And I ended up with a pretty decent size 1 centimeter calcification. My original nodule was 4.2 centimeters. So the nodule stays, it's kind of like a scar, or on an x-ray, it looks like a tumor in your lung. And that left me with some shortness of breath, difficulty, like sometimes with exercise-induced type asthma, very reactive lungs. So if I walk through cigarette smoke or even trick-or-treating and everybody with their fire pits out here in Arizona, I would cough and hack and wheeze for weeks after any kind of exposure to that. So, and with valley fever, you can't take any steroids. So it's kind of just left with scarred lungs, I guess. I also had low thyroid, so I took thyroid medicine, you know, being in my 40s, every year it seemed like the scale and I kind of had a more weighty relationship. Not that I've ever been a super heavy person, but just, the scale kind of creeped up there. I've always been active and exercise, but I just I really just couldn't ever lose any weight. So I started patching, and I started with X39 and the Aeon on my back. And then we had that awesome kind of summer special where you got an SP6 for free. So thought, well, I'm going to try it. And I started wearing the SP6, and probably about between a week and 10 days in, I kind of accidentally forgot my thyroid medicine. And I kind of, about a week after forgetting it for a week, I just decided, well, I haven't noticed that I wasn't taking it, so I stopped taking it. And I'm a numbers person. I'm very lab value oriented. And I went and got my blood work done about 8 weeks after being off the thyroid medicine. And my blood work was all better than it had been last summer. So that was a happy accident with the patches. And of course, my low back is feeling much better. I mean, I pretty much don't have any back pain unless I do something to deserve it. Other than that, I have no back pain. The other kind of cool thing is we were sitting around the campfire up north at our cabin, and my husband looked over at me and he goes, "You haven't been wheezing lately." And I was like, "Oh, actually, you're right. I haven't even been carrying my rescue inhaler. I don't wheeze anymore. I don't get short of breath. I exercise without any difficulty." And so that also has been kind of a happy accident. My daughter, the most amazing part, and probably the most, part that I'm the most thankful for, is that she wore the patches for about 2 months, so April and May. And we had gotten her state testing. Our school district does it, I think it's like the end of February, first part of March, right before spring break. And she was around 60%. She was struggling about 60% in all of her core subjects. And that's unusual. She was kind of an all A student prior to her accident. And so we started patching her. She was using very consistently the Aeon and the X39, and then more or less consistently the Elevata, probably not 7 days a week, but maybe 4 days a week, mostly the 4 days that I would remember, to do it at night. And she was struggling in school. She, like I said, about 60%, and she was struggling to sleep. She, in 2 months, well,
Okay,
really,
the same thing.
yeah, really about her first night on the patches, she slept through the night, which was a nice gift to me, because then she slept through the night, I got to sleep through the night. In 2 months, she went from, like I said, barely getting 60% to she ended up getting 95% or better on all 4 of her core subjects for her final grades. So we had a dramatic improvement. She was more noise tolerant. She had less headaches. We still have a little bit of struggles with headaches and not really noise sensitivity so much, but maybe just the feeling of being a little overwhelmed. And again, I'm going to say it's a lesson that I learned the hard way, is in being consistent, is because I let her kind of take the summer off. She was doing so well. And so I didn't patch over the summer, and we just went back to school, and I was like, we need to start the patches again. So we just started the patches again when she went back to school here about 3 weeks ago, and I can already tell a difference. So it's been a bit of a miracle for our family. And just like Dina said, when you get your miracle, you won't be able to help yourself from sharing with others. And 1, that's why I'm here today. And 2, it has just transformed my life. I've always been a patient advocate, and been very, I guess, I take very personally the care of my friends and my family and my patients. And this product has just been a blessing to everyone I know. I've had just the most amazing results with my friends and my family. It's just been wonderful. So I'm so thankful that we have these patches, and I really believe that this is the future of medicine. I think that we are kind of at the cusp of something magical here. I think it's wonderful. So, do you have any? Yeah. Do you have any other questions?
That was that was just so wonderful. I mean, all the different things that's done for your daughter, for you, and just let's say 5 months you've been using the patches, and then you were noticing massive pain relief in 3 days.
Yeah.
And then your daughter, like the academic, the difference you can tell that is working and making a difference in her brain. Like that's so huge that you can see it on her grades. You see the difference, and she probably knows the difference also.
Oh, even, we went back to school about 3 weeks ago, and she was struggling even in, the second or third day of math class, and she was already overwhelmed and frustrated. And she's like, Mom, I can't do this. I can't do this math class. And she is, she's in an honors class, because we push our kids. So she's in an honors class math, and she's like, I don't think I can do this. I don't remember these things. And really, right, the back to teacher, back to school, meet the teacher night, she was just overwhelmed by, the number of kids in the school, and she switched from, K through 6 to 7 through 12. And so she was overwhelmed and kind of intimidated. And so I said, oh, I think we need to go back on the patches. And then, kind of being a irresponsible mom, I didn't go home and slap one on her. I kind of thought, okay, I'm going to start doing that. And then, next thing I know, we're 4 or 5 days into school, and she's been struggling with her math, and literally putting the patch on a couple of days later, all of a sudden I said, where's your math homework? Oh, I did it in school. And so I pull up her grades, and sure enough, she's done all of her homework, and she's gotten 100% on her math assignments, and she's doing it all in school.
Which patches were you using for her exactly, for your daughter? Which patches?
Yeah. So she consistently is wearing X39 and Aeon. Those are my 2 favorite. Yeah. And then occasionally we'll do an Elevata.
Wonderful. And for you, someone was asking, where did you place for your scoliosis, for your back pain? Where did you say you placed the patches? Someone said, where on your body were you using the patches?
Yeah. So for myself, I recommend X39 on the spine. So, typically it can go on the back of the neck. I put it on the base, down where my pain is, my low spine. And then I put the Aeon, kind of where your thumb goes when you put your hand on your hip. So in the loin, in that tender, that tight muscle there in your back, that's where I wear the Aeon.
You're putting it just right there on the point of pain.
Point of pain. Yeah, you can't go wrong with that. Yeah.
Well, that was
all over the world. My name's Tim Wagner. It's a pleasure to be your host this evening. Thanks to Andrew Lomax for standing in as my co-host, just in case. Here we go. I've got some thumbs up. Lovely. Fantastic. Thanks for the interaction. Let's keep it going. So I'm here to share something extremely powerful. Right at the end, you're going to actually find out why I know it is so powerful, and why I know that this is not only about health, wealth, and happiness. It's about hope as well. Giving people hope. So whether you're feeling hopeless, or you know exactly what I'm talking about, we're going to cut straight in here. And at the end, I'm going to answer that. Why hope? So the question on the screen, let's jump straight into this. Have you been patched yet? Put in the chats for us. Let's see, everybody on here can have a look at it. If you've been patched, put a thumbs up in the chats or say, yes, I have. If you haven't, well, be silent or say, no, not yet. And I like the yet bit because that means it is coming. You're not saying no. Put in the chats there. Let's see, so everybody can see in the participants who's joining here tonight, who has actually been patched and who is yet to be patched. So let's jump straight into what we're talking about, which is LifeWave and stem cell activation technology in a patch which is about the size of a R5 coin if you're in South Africa, or maybe it's a £1, I think, if you're in the UK. But if you haven't been, it's time to get patched. And you've seen that on the screen here, it says stem cells, and you've maybe been invited to come and join a presentation around stem cell regeneration. And you're thinking, I've heard of the stem cell thing, but I don't really know what it is. Well, we're going to talk a little bit about that, because it was only a few months ago that I knew what a stem cell was, but I didn't know how valuable and important it is to our total health and well-being. And the key part is a stem cell is the most intuitive cell in our body. The stem cell turns into any other cell that is needed as part of healing and repair for any organ, any tissue. It doesn't matter what our body needs to heal and repair. The origin of that healing comes from the stem cell. So wouldn't you want more of them in order to be able to heal if you are unwell, or you have a dis-ease, or you cut yourself, a surgery, an operation?
We all hope to age gracefully so we can enjoy our later years full of energy, vitality, and good health. But so often, with age, our bodies start to show signs that things just aren't as they used to be. Our energy, skin, healing and recovery time, sleep, it all just seems to go downhill. Unless you're using LifeWave. David Schmidt, our founder, creative force, and world-class inventor behind LifeWave technology, has recently achieved something in the field of regenerative science with a single LifeWave patch that researchers worldwide, spending years and billions of dollars, could not. Introducing LifeWave X39. The world's first product ever to activate stem cells, a true breakthrough in regenerative science that helps restore our bodies to a healthier, more youthful state in a way no other product can. The secret? By harnessing the power of LifeWave's patented phototherapy, X39 uses light to elevate a peptide proven to signal the activation of stem cells. Think about it. These are the cells that generate and regenerate all the cells and structures of the human body. They're the building blocks for our organs, tissues, blood, and immune system. They also serve as an internal repair system everywhere. But as we age, stem cells become less effective. Their ability to repair damaged tissue is reduced. In fact, by age 60, they've slowed dramatically. But all that changes when just one LifeWave X39 patch is placed anywhere on the body each day. Instead of older and less effective stem cells, X39 supports the production of younger and healthier stem cells. This amazing level of control over your vitality and well-being was simply not possible, let alone this easy, until now. And the best part? Like all LifeWave patches, X39 is safe, non-invasive, and incredibly cost-effective. Look what people are saying about LifeWave X39. Backed by clinical studies, multiple patents, and 20 years of development, any one of these benefits would be impressive. But X39 is so effective, it can influence everything about your body, how you look, feel, perform, and heal. It's time you experience the power of X39.
Okay, wow. That was a lot there. I'm going to break down some of that a little bit more. There were some words in there, copper peptides and various other words that maybe went over your head a little bit, because it did mine when I first heard about LifeWave and I heard the video. So we're going to break this down a little bit for you. But that's an excellent video to send to people when you realize the value of what we've got here and you want to share the story. So ask the person who invited you for that video so you can forward it on to other people. And while I'm going through this, if you have any questions, just pop them in the chats there, and one of my colleagues and partners will get to answering it. Otherwise, we may find some time right at the end to get answers to those questions. Otherwise, get back to the person who invited you. So let's cover LifeWave a little bit now. I've been around in network marketing, in business for way too many years. I used to have hair. I don't have any more. That just gives you an insight. And what was very important for me was understanding the history, the values, and the credibility of the organization. If I'm going to be buying a healing product, it's a light technology company, a product that I'm putting on my body to heal and regenerate, I want to know the viability of it. And you've got the numbers on the screen over here. You can have a look at the massive turnover. But the key numbers for me that were very valuable was, number one, it was founded in 2004. Talking about a 21-year-old company. So it's not something fly-by-night that just quickly popped up and has come out of China or India or somewhere else that is untested and unknown. There's innovation, there's patents, there's 3,000% growth in the last 5 years. Why? Because it works. This is the founder you saw a little bit on the video there, David Schmidt. He's actually a scientist, and he's got a phenomenal story from right when he was young at how he was interested to find out how things work. Now, over the years, since LifeWave started, he's actually got 200 patents. I'm going to talk about a patent just now, why that's so valuable. He is a scientist and an inventor. So this is not medicine or medical, right? Very different approach to our body's natural ability to heal. He's a 2-time recipient of Advanced Technology Awards. He's actually got 2 honorary doctorates in science and technology. He specializes in, get this, age reversal. Not age prevention, age reversal. How powerful is that? And in 2008, he's focused his attention on stem cell research. And it was very interesting when I found out that the principles that he applied in this research were actually biblical. And that caught my attention a little bit, even though I'm not actually a student of the Bible. It took David Smith 10 years and funding of $4.5 million to bring this X39 to the market. Now, here's a patent. I've been around for long enough to know that people can make documents and make claims and just talk stories. Perhaps you've been bitten by scams or schemes unknowingly, as have I, many people have. So I went and did my research. I wanted to find out, is this patent or are these patents actually real? And the answer was, yeah, they are. If it wasn't so, I wouldn't be here. Now, why is a patent so important? Well, in a light technology company, which is what LifeWave is, every 2 years you have to reapply for your patent. And to get a patent, you have to prove scientifically that what you're saying is true. So the research and the independent research into what LifeWave says that they can do with the stem cell regeneration patches, it's fact. And you've got some magnificent stats on there, or some wording on there about what it does, elevating copper peptides, and who knows what a copper peptide is. Well, apparently we need more of them. Why? Let's get it to the crux of it. It's great. David Smith, good credibility, phenomenal guy. He's all over social media. Go to YouTube, research his name. He's there. He's not an actor hiding. But why for you? What I call weefum. What's in it for me? Why are you here? In fact, what are you looking for? You came here for a reason, either because you're being patched, or perhaps you're even deciding that you've turned this into a business and there's a phenomenal model there for you. Or you're here for the first time and you've got some ailments. Well, let's have a look at why the X39 stem cell activation patch could be the answer that you're actually looking for. You see, we get fewer stem cells as we age. Hence why, as you age, you get wrinkles and fine lines and things begin to droop that didn't used to. And when you get injured, it takes longer to heal. When you're a teenager, you got 1 and lots of zeros of active stem cells in your body. But as you get older, the number of active stem cells decreases to the point that when you're over your 60s, you have only a 10% amount of stem cells active than you had when you were a teenager. So the question comes is, what would happen if your body could naturally awaken those dormant stem cells? And this is how it works. It's called the holy grail of anti-aging. I like that. There we go. Made from organic nanocrystals. Yeah, I'm not a scientist, so I did some research about what is a nanocrystal and to find out that it's one of the patents that David Schmidt has. But these little nanocrystals are inside this patch here, and it works on activating your copper peptides. Why is that important? Because the copper peptides activate those stem cells, your own. Not transplanted. It doesn't go from here into you. It's about the activation of your body's innate ability to heal itself. So there's no drugs, there's no stimulants. It's what they call non-transdermal, so nothing's actually going in. I had a meeting with a client this morning over Zoom, and the question was, I have to take medication. Will this impact my medication? And the answer is no. But if you want clarity, please do refer back to your medical practitioner, as I'm not here to give any medical advice whatsoever. Here's a key thing, non-invasive. It means it's not going to have an impact with anything else that you're doing. Why the benefits? Have a look at that on the screen here. Here's one of the key things that really caught my attention with X39. This is not about targeting an issue you have. Let's say sciatica. Many people sciatica. It's that pinched nerve, an issue in the butt there, which really grows down to your leg. You can't sleep, you can't walk, you can't get up. And I've met people who've been inflicted with sciatica pain for decades, where the patches actually help sort that out very fast to some point. But your body needs to heal elsewhere perhaps as well. So instead of it just targeting your sciatica, you don't go and stick the patch on there. You can, but you stick it on other places in your body. I'll show you just now. It actually goes to activating healing throughout. Intuitively, your body knows what it needs to heal first. Massive. You can read what's on the screen over there. Take a screenshot or ask the person who invited you on for a copy of this as well. Massive benefits. It activates very quickly at a cellular level inside. In fact, genes, 4,000 of them start to reactivate or reset in the first few days. Your brain starts to get balanced. And this was something that impacted me actually 5 days in after wearing the X39. I found I had more clarity of mind. I hadn't had brain fog for many, many years, but I could remember things clearer. I had more energy. It was profound for me. Collagen, the ladies, they love this one. Who here knows of collagen powder or collagen that you actually take? No problem. But what if your body can activate its own collagen, more of it, to sort out those fine lines and wrinkles and droopy face? And you'll have to look at some pictures just now. And then heart reversal. Heart age reversal. Who doesn't want a stronger, younger heart as they get older? That's brilliant stuff. As David Smith said, it's not anti-age. This is age reversal. So how do you wear the patch? Actually very simple. So wonderful. You can stick it on in the morning. You peel it off. It's got a little peeling thing here. You stick it on either on the neck or below belly button. You can put it actually anywhere, but that's where the science, when the science and the tests were done, that's where the patch was placed. You wear it for 12 hours. You take it off. Why? Because your body needs to repair and rejuvenate at night. You're healing at a cellular level here. We need to give our body the chance to do that. So wear it for 12 hours. And that's the key thing. Drink plenty of good quality water, please. Not tap water. Don't say, but I trust the tap water. Yes, quality water. Even if it's a filtration water, something better than just a carbon block filter system on your tap. You need good quality water for your body, because we are energy. We are light energy. And this is phototherapy. So you need that energy to move smoothly without putting lots of toxins in through the water. You can apply many different patches. There are different ones. I'll share what they are just now. But here's what we also do. The patch has efficacy, can last for longer than 12 hours, anywhere from 18 to 20. So what happens in my household family? The wife gets the patch. The next day, I actually get it. And for a period when our dog wasn't well, she had an operation on her paw, our dog got the patch. Yep. That is what you can do as well. So we in South Africa especially, well, I guess all over the world, we like to stretch our money as far as possible and get the most out of it. But for the true healing, the person who really needs that, it's the fresh patch is what you want. Otherwise, you could just be lengthening your healing process. There is a 90-day protocol. You've been around for decades. You know how many decades? There's no get well quick scheme. Pop, pull, done, cured. No, it takes time. Follow the process, and the science has shown start with a 90-day protocol. Wear it. Some people, most people, feel a benefit within the first 30 days from my experience. But for others, as my son, who you'll hear his story later on, took a little bit longer. You had to go through a bit of a detox process. But recommended that you're going to keep patching every single day, 3 months, and then 1 month per decade you've been alive thereafter, to really help heal it at a cellular level. Now remember, everybody's body is unique. Everybody's different. Some people may go through a bit of a detox. If you're concerned about that, ask the person who invited you to share some of the detox protocols. But you're going to have to work through that difficult stage in order to get the growth, the healing on the other side of it. So, David Smith, He says the X39 is his greatest achievement, and having a product that works as quickly and provides so many benefits seems like a miracle, or too good to be true. And I've been told that by somebody, and then they bought the patches and they said, it is too good to be true because I feel better. Quite amazing. But it is simply applying the magic of your stem cells in your human body. So let's go through a little bit of the science, and I'm going to share with you some pictures here quickly. This is a topography map of a 77-year-old woman, which is a brain scan showing the inflammation in her brain on the left-hand side there. The red is inflammation. There was a lack of brain coherence. Within 3 weeks of wearing the X39, inflammation gone. Now, we all understand that inflammation is what causes pain. Inflammation in the mind, headaches, migraines, brain fog, lack of coherence, lack of memory. And there's many, many videos being shown of people actually where they've taken videos of the process where they've actually got brain fog or brain issues, showing how they're improving. Right to session 3 there, 6 weeks afterwards, we're complete turnaround. Here's some scans of heart. Again, the red is the inflammation. Day 1, day 2, month 2, and month 5. So really helping the heart improve. Inflammation. We are light energy beings. So when you turn off the lights and you have an infrared, you can actually see the light emitting. Now with special cameras, you can pick up the red is inflammation. So you can see after just 30 minutes, 30 minutes, the patches help reduce inflammation. Inflammation down, what happens next? Your pain reduces. Inflammation in the hands. This was actually somebody didn't even patch. They were carrying the patch. It activated on that level as well. Animals. This is something which I get asked, but Tim, isn't this a placebo effect? You know, our minds are very, very strong. There's a lot of research done around placebos. Well, to my mind, horses don't lie. The scans don't lie. You can see the pictures there before and after 4 months. Ask for the video about Pop-Up if you've not seen it. I know many people have heard many stories of people who registered and signed up in LifeWave to say, I want these patches after watching the video of Pop-Up. And I've tested on my own dog. She went for an operation on her paw. The vet said it'll be about 6 weeks. No water, no swimming, no beach. That's a Labrador. Not pleasant. 3 weeks. Stitches came out, back on the beach. I was patching her with a second-hand patch every night. You can stick it under the collar. I just stuck it on her belly where there's not so much fur. Here's to collagen. Now, Dr. Stacy got a lot of videos. Fantastic lady to follow. If you're on YouTube, look up Dr. Stacy. She does a lot of education. Has got some magical stuff around this. But have a look at that. Here's some other people. 2 years. But look at this, day 1, day 42, day 30, 355. Where else are you going to get naturally, where you're not taking anything in, improvement like that? Here's another one. Vitiligo. This is something which, according to doctors, is incurable. Look at the improvements there. Just after a few months, and then as you continue to go, because we're healing at a cellular level, can take time with something which is a real disease, or a dis-ease, I should say. What about Bell's palsy? Now, you see, the patch doesn't cure. Let's be that clear. It's not a cure. But what it'll do, it'll lessen the symptoms. It'll make life more livable and freer for people who have got real issues at a cellular level or nervous system level. So you can pronounce that word. I've lost it for now. Eczemas, skin ailments, the improvements, wound healing, because the wound needs more stem cells. This is healing. Have a look at these, a bit graphic, but this is the reality of how fast your body can heal when it's given the right tools. It's a brilliant photographs of the hands. You can see how the improvement has come. What about circulation? Now, if my foot looked like that, I would be freaking out, to be honest with you. But 5 days, isn't that amazing? Now, blood circulation, if you've never had the opportunity to have done a live blood analysis, find somebody in a local area who has. I did one in Polokwane. I've got a client up there, I did a presentation for her, and one of her clients does live blood analysis. I had my blood checked. Wow, what an eye-opener that was. So on the left-hand side there, that's all squashed up like tiny squashed marshmallows all stuck together. That's unhealthy. But after 10 minutes, those red blood cells freed up. And that's what good blood looks like. I'd encourage that happening. Water retention. Ooh, doctors aren't going to know what to do about that. Think about the lack of ability to move, to walk, go to the shop, play with your kids, play with your dogs, and look after 3 weeks. Hair loss. When my hair starts to grow back, I would like to keep the gray. I asked if it was possible. I was told no, deal with it. So there we go. But hair loss as well. But it's not only about healing. It's not only about management of dis-ease. I say dis-ease because that's dis meaning out of ease, balance. That's what happens to your body. These patches put it back into balance. But it's not only about that. You see, when LifeWave first started, it was actually in order to help people function and recover from exercise for a lot longer, but without drugs, without anything like that. And you can see some stars here. Now, on the left-hand side, Michael Phelps, if you've been around on the spinning ball called the planet as long as I have, you would likely remember the 2004 Olympics when the American swimming team took all the gold medals. So the Olympic Committee, would you agree with me that they analyze drug use, but under a microscope, like intensely? So they saw that the team were wearing these patches. They wondered, well, what was this? So they actually took the medals away and they went and did research. And so there's quite a few stories available about this. They could find nothing. Nothing. Now, if they can't, there's some legitimacy to it. You're looking for more information. You want to find some research, the patents, the copies of details from doctors and testimonials. This is at info.com. This is where you're going to find a lot of that. Take that down or ask the person who invited you for that details. Now, I'm going to cover some of the other patches because there are different ones. The X39 patch is the main one. This is the one that is the base for all because it's the only one that activates those copper peptides for the stem cell regeneration. But there are other ones as well. Aeon, this is becoming my second favorite one of them all actually because it reduces that inflammation. So if you have somebody with a lot of pain all over their body, combine it. You can wear two patches at the same time. Combine it with Aeon. The Aeon reduces the inflammation, which allows the X39 to activate a lot more effectively. Can it work on its own? Yes. But each person has their own needs. X49 is for performance. That's the performance patch for those sports people. If you love your triathlons, if you're a runner, if you're in the gym a lot and you want to build up your strength and you want to recover quicker, add X49. Ice Wave for pain, specifically targeted pain areas. Now, it's not going to heal. What it'll do is reduce very quickly that pain to give you a lot more ease and quality of life. Then when you've got the X39, that's healing at a cellular level. Glutathione for detox, cornosine, the clarity patch, improving on focus and alertness. Then you've got the sleep patch. Wow, silent night. A lot of people need this. But here's what actually I found happens as well. X39, when it helps reduce the inflammation, you have less pain, you have a better active day, you sleep better at night. But those who need that extra boost, there's a sleep patch, energy enhancer. This is where LifeWave started with the Olympic team, was the energy enhancer. What about cravings? I've got a client who says, I want to lose weight. Will the X39 help me lose weight? Well, you need to have a look at your entire lifestyle. But if there's specifically for appetite regulation or improving liver function, add the SP6 to it. But we're looking at lifestyle here. You can't keep going to KFC and McDonald's and eating processed foods and not drinking water and having a little bit too much fermented grape juice. If you want to heal, you've got to give your body the best. And then aloe vera is what the ladies like. What a nice beauty. But let's get real because there's a couple of things here. Number one, you say it's too good to be true. Number two, you say this sounds expensive. I want to put into context for you here. You've likely heard of stem cells before and stem cell injections. So sports people go to this, people who have got issues with their knees or hips, and there's various different forms of the way that it happens. The first thing is you're actually putting often a foreign body, somebody else's stem cells into you, or it could be your own that they've cleaned up and put it back. But here's a couple of things. Number one, it's very expensive, $10,000 plus. Number two, 50% chance of it actually working. And number three, that's not on here, it targets an area like a knee, not your entire body, whereas the stem cell patches and LifeWave is about your whole body. So the patches for this comparison is a fraction of the cost. You don't have to travel. You don't have to have repeated needles stabbed into you or your bone marrow pulled out to clean your own stem cells, to stick it back in you again. You've got these inside. What if there's a way your body can naturally regenerate its own stem cells?
Great to all my followers out there. Guys, please go through this page, YouTube, subscribe to it so we can get deeper into the network and help thousands more people out there that need this miracle patch. Oh, sorry, that's my point of view. And share that with your family member, friends, and loved ones that are having issues in their life at this stage. Rumble, please subscribe, and you can buy me a cup of coffee there on YouTube as well, or on BitChute. BitChute, we've got hundreds of viewers there, but very few subscribers. Guys, please subscribe. Remember, your subscribers get us deeper into the network, and we can get to millions more or billions more people out there that would make very good use of this technology. If you haven't got data, you can catch me on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and X. Further up, you can scan a QR code for WhatsApp. If you've got an issue or disease, high blood pressure, diabetes, prostate problems, prostate cancer, anything like that, drop me a message and I'll send you testimonials from all over the world with people that are on this patch and what it's done for them. So, and please follow me on those channels. And then next to my WhatsApp QR code, you'll find a QR code taking you direct to my email address. On the other side of the page, you'll find another QR code for Telegram. If you want to use Telegram, hit me up on there, send me the message or what you would like to see, or to send people, if you've got family member, friends and loved ones or something and you want to send it to them, knock me up there and we'll take it from there. Guys, we are 20-year-old pioneers in life technology. It's a 20-year-old, actually it's a 21-year-old company this year. We in this life technology. Please hit me up and I'll hook you up with this life-changing product. It's age reversal, so you'll get mega benefits out of this. As you can see, my hair, 67, I was grey all over, like my beard is still grey, it's getting there, and my hair's gone black, gone back to my younger days. So I'm getting younger. It's your carnosine goes up by 300% in your body. Your own carnosine, nothing that you have to take big pharma's Smarties for. It's your own. This thing activates your own collagen to go up. So you become like when you were a small child. You get your millions of stem cells back and working as strong as ever. So if you've got heart problems, it makes your heart up to 8 years younger than what you are. The muscles, the heart muscles, and the arteries. So guys, it's a no-brainer. Hit me up on one of these. Comment me on the videos I put up. Remember, I put up the video every week. So thank you for being here, and hope you have a fantastic week and weekend, and live a happier, younger, healthier, and pain-free life with us at Lifewise. Come and join us, or just look me up if you need the product to try it out, or if you need more information on the product. And if you would like testimonials to send to somebody with a disease they are having issues with, look me up and I'll get back to you. Thank you, and Johnny signing off from Johannesburg, South Africa, and I'll see you next week. Enjoy the week.